Hello and welcome to the video. This is a video for a patron of mine, a patron called Andrew. So Andrew, this one is for you. However, you're not the only person that's asked about this because EdgeTX, this is the Radiomaster TX16S Mark III, has a nice big screen, so it's easy for me to show you on this. But EdgeTX is not fantastic for gliders. Ethos and some of the other systems have a lot more glider specific things, but actually you can absolutely set everything you want to up in here. Now, Andrew was asking about how do you set up things like braking and crow and cruise and all those kind of different pieces. So what I've done here, I've got a very simple model. It has two ailerons, channel 1 and 2. It has one elevator, it has one rudder, and I've also got a couple of flap channels on a little rotating control here on the shoulder. So that's pretty standard stuff. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you first of all, how you set up without using too much complexity. So say, for example, we want maybe the flap channels on the flick of a switch to come up, or maybe it's the ailerons need to go down to support flaps or something like that. Well, that's pretty easy. If we go into the model menu, this is all done in the mixer. So the way that I would do it very simply is just add an offset on a switch. So what we can do is we can click here, we can say insert after, give it a name, something like aileron up or something, just so we can keep track of it. Source, we're going to have a bit of a weird one here. We're going to look for something in here called max. Now max is a little bit of a weird one in that it's a distinct value. So what we're going to do, we'll set it to how much we want this control to move, and we'll put that on a switch. I'll move a switch into the position that we're after. Fantastic. So there we go. So now what will happen is if we go back here, if I flick that switch, you'll see that aileron will move that same amount. Maybe we want both of them to move at the same time. So guess what? We'll do the same thing. We'll jump back in, go into mixes. We'll actually copy that. We will paste after. So now there we have the same thing. So the aileron has both pieces. So now if I come out, as I flick that switch, there we go, the ailerons move in that particular direction. If I wanted more movement, then I could change that 20 to something else. So for example, I could go back into mixer, we could do it, we could then edit it so that maybe, I don't know, rather than being 20%, it now becomes 30, something like that, okay? We could potentially change the direction by hitting this reverse thing at the bottom here, change the polarity. So now when we do it, you'll see that one of them goes in one direction, the other one goes in the other direction slightly more. And we can work our way through that using that one switch position to change everything. Because it might be that once we flick the ailerons into that position, maybe the elevator needs a little bit of offset. Well, that's absolutely fine. We can do that too. If we come into here, we'll go down into elevator. We will insert after. Again, the source is going to be a bit weird. We're going to look for something called max in the list. We'll set it to, I don't know, maybe it just needs to go just 10% or something. Let's just go down to 10% in that direction. Assign it to the same switch that we've got doing the other two pieces. There we go. So now we're flying along, all the controls are in their neutral position. We flick the switch, the ailerons move into their new positions, and the elevator does as well to compensate for any kind of nose up, nose down movement for those ailerons moving. Now, you've probably started to spot something already. This is going to get incredibly complicated really, really quickly because every time we add a new mode, we're going to add another line under aileron, elevator, under the flaps, whatever it is. And that can become really complicated. So say, for example, that we want another mode where we want the ailerons to go up, but we want the flaps to go down for something like braking. Well, we could do that again. We could add another line here. So we could go back to here and we could say insert after. Again, we could find our max. We could set whatever number that needs to be. Maybe it's just 20, assign it to the switch position that we want for that. And then we can work our way through each of the controls that we want to be affected, including the flaps, insert, after, etc., etc. That means by the time we have finished, this mixer looks incredibly confusing. And having done this in the past, I just lose what the heck I'm supposed to be doing. There is a slightly simpler way if you want lots of different setups for your glider. So let me just jump out of this and go into the model that I've not edited yet. So we'll go into Manage Models, go into Glider, Flight Modes. So we'll select the model, put the controls back where they need to be. So now we're back where we were before. That switch isn't doing anything. Now there are a couple of cool things in the model menu. The first one is something called Flight Modes, and this is what it looks like. Until you need them, Flight Modes looks like a complete waste of time. So what we can do is we can actually collect values like we've just put in all of those pieces into one flight mode and have them in one simple place. So let's just edit flight mode, the normal base flight mode. This is the one that's always there. So I would call it something like normal. Okay, we'll come out of that. Then maybe this one is called braking. We'll assign it to a switch, same switch like we did before. And then this one we'll call something like, I don't know, whichever mode you want to call it, but you get the idea here, right? We'll call it something like crow. We'll put it on the next switch position. Awesome. So now we have 3 flight modes, and as I move the switch, it's going to go from the normal default position into braking and crow. Okay, so what? Well, at the bottom here, one of the benefits of doing this is it now says normal, braking and crow. You can actually read on the front what mode we're in. Yeah, so what? Well, what we can do now is, you remember we were kind of putting in 20 and 30 and negative 20 and 30, all those kind of different things on different lines. It now makes it really easy, because if we look at something like braking, we can actually set up individual trims, which is really handy, potentially if you want to have maybe a different elevator trim depending on where the control surfaces are. You can actually set that in up here. But also what we can do is we can actually zoom across here into something called global variables. And what you'll see is as I move the flight mode, those are changing too. And these global variables are where we can store a value. So we can now use these numbers, these global variables, to store all those numbers in one place. It's easiest to show you, I guess. So now as I flick that switch, we're going to see that there's 3 sets of global variables. In normal mode, they're usually going to be 0. However, let's just go into the next flight mode, click on here, and let's say edit. So here we can see that in this next mode, flight mode 0, what we can do is we can actually, so say this is going to be the offsets for the aileron. Okay, so aileron maybe left or something, right? We're going to come down here. In normal mode, maybe the offset in 0. In braking, maybe the offset that we need is going to be 20. In crow, maybe the offset that we're going to need is actually going to be 40. Okay, so now what we've done is in one place we have stored all of the global variables for the aileron that we need for the 3 modes. So depending on how we want it moving. So how would we use that? Well, that gets dead easy now, and this is why I like it, because it keeps it simple. In aileron, we can insert after, just like I did before. Source is going to be our friend Max. The weight is actually going to come from a source. So this time it's actually going to come from a global variable called aileron. And we're not going to set a switch or anything else. That's all we're going to do. So now that second line, and again, we can actually give it a name, you know, whatever we want. But what that is going to do in practice, if we come back, as I flick that switch, we're going to see the flight mode change, plus it's going to assign whatever offset I have added into the global variable. And that is all being done by one single line. Okay. The power comes when we start to get more complicated. So if I go back into here, let's go back into global variables. Let's say global value 2, GV2. Let's say this is aileron right. Okay, and then maybe we'll have these. So maybe this is now 20 again, but it's minus 20. Maybe this is going to be, I don't know, maybe you want them going in different directions, maybe you want them to go in the same direction. You can just set up the values that you need here. And again, we come out. So again, those are changing as we move things around. So now if we go back into the mixer on the other aileron, I can insert after our friend Mr. Max, set the source to be aileron right. So now again, as I flick the switch, you can see those numbers are coming across. Awesome. Maybe in one of the modes, in that mode, the third mode, Crow, I need a little bit of adjustment on the elevator. No problem at all. What we'll do is we'll come out, we'll go into here, we'll have the global variable 3, we'll call this elevator. Okay, and then in the third position, which is Crow, we'll have that as, I don't know, something like minus 10 or whatever it needs to be for that particular model type. So now, if I come out of here, we go into the mixer, into the elevator, insert after. Guess what? Max, you're getting the hang of this. You could practically do this yourself at this point. Let's pick on our friend global variable 3 elevator. Go back. So now we can see the first two modes, nothing happens, but because in Crow we've set up the elevator to change, it switches. So what you can do is here in the global variables, you can just type in mode by mode as you move along what you want all the offsets to be, and just by adding in one single line as a line to alter the main control, those are put in place, and it keeps everything really simple. And you can just see here exactly which is which number you're going to have to change. If you want to change the polarity, change the value, you can do it all through this, and you can build up. My advice would be, when you're starting this, start simple, get 1 or 2 modes, and then you can keep adding them on by just adding additional flight modes. The last little trick I'm going to show you is that in things like this, there is a fade in and a fade out for flight modes. You can, if you want to, so that's half a second, that's half a second. What it means is that rather than the servo snap into position, the flight modes are going to transition from one to the other. So now what you'll see is I flick the switch, you'll see the changes happen gently, which can be a little bit nicer. So this is the way that personally I would do it. If it's really simple and you only want one thing for like flap deployment, I would use the switch method we looked at originally. However, realistically for 2-3 things, I'd do it like this. The big benefit with this is that the mixer stays really simple because you just have one additional line for every of the main controls. Plus, it makes it super simple for you to keep track of what your offsets are for each of those flight modes using this global variable screen. So Andrew, that is how I would do it. Hopefully that makes more sense. If you're still struggling, hit me up on Patreon with a private message. Thank you for watching my video. Check out the playlist, and adding Pedantry 360 to your search terms will help you find my content. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. You can support the time I spend here answering questions and helping others by using the links in the video description.